This is the Complete Plants vs. Zombies 2 Reflourished Guide to installing, updating, fixing crashes, transferring your progress, and many more. This guide is based on Reflourished version 1.3.1 but should still be relevant for future updates in 2025 and beyond. If a major change makes this guide outdated, I'll mark it accordingly. Before we begin, let's check a few things to make sure your device can run Plants vs. Zombies 2 Reflourished properly. Reflourished is completely standalone. You do not need to install the official Plants vs. Zombies 2 app. iOS is not supported, sorry Apple users. Reflourished might work on advanced setups like Windows Subsystem for Android, for PC, Droid, for Steam Deck, Android Studio, for Mac. However, these are not recommended due to instability. Reflourished works best on Android phones and tablets or Android emulators for PC, such as BlueStacks, Nox Player, or LD Player. For emulators, use a 64-bit instance. BlueStacks defaults to 32-bit, which may cause issues that I will explain soon. Android 9 or higher is recommended for stability. A guide for setting up a 64-bit instance on BlueStacks is in the description. For Android phones, rooting is not required to install Reflourished. At least 2 GB of free storage for installation. At least 4 GB of RAM for smooth performance. Has Google Chrome for downloading. Other browsers may cause incomplete downloads. Has Google Play for device stability. While Reflourished is not available on Google Play, we've tried to make the installation process as similar as possible to a standard Google Play update. Recommended to have a pure 64-bit architecture. As Reflourished continues to update, it becomes more demanding on devices. This means 32-bit devices may eventually lose support. In the near future, devices with pure 32-bit architecture or 64-bit CPUs running on a 32-bit OS may no longer be compatible with Reflourished. To avoid issues in future updates, your device is advised to be a pure 64-bit architecture. The most accurate way to check is using the IDA64 app. IDA64 will show whether your device is pure 32-bit, 64-bit CPU but 32-bit OS, or pure 64-bit. No, your device's architecture is fixed. You cannot convert a 32-bit device into a 64-bit one. Like rooting, any attempts to do so may void your device's warranty. The only solution is to upgrade to a 64-bit device or use a 64-bit emulator. For those using emulators like BlueStacks, this isn't a concern as long as you have installed the correct NuGet 64-bit version. If your device meets the requirements, you may proceed. A note for the old players, our latest installation method no longer requires manually downloading the OBB file, which is why it is not exposed in the download links. Unless absolutely necessary, do not download the OBB file yet. Both installing and updating Reflourished follow a similar process. For new players, if you're updating, do not delete the old APK, otherwise your saved data will be deleted. For old players, updating only the OBB file without updating the APK will not work and will cause crashes. I'll cover the steps for Android devices first, then go over the process for BlueStacks afterward. Ensure you have a stable internet connection on your Wi-Fi or your mobile data. It doesn't need to be fast, but it must be stable. Use the Google Drive link provided in the video description. On the download page, get the Reflourished APK file. It's about 30 megabytes. If Google Drive doesn't work for any reason, use the Mega link as an alternative. If Mega also fails, a MediaFire link is available. Avoid downloading Reflourished from unofficial sources to ensure your game works properly. Once the download is complete, go to your Chrome Downloads folder, or wherever your files are saved. For BlueStacks, open the download link in Chrome on your PC. If you know how to navigate an emulator's built-in browser, you can download the APK directly inside BlueStacks, but you'll need to sign into your Google account first. Download the APK file, it should be about 30 megabytes. Now that you have downloaded the APK, let's install it. The process is slightly different depending on whether you're installing for the first time or updating. Locate the downloaded APK file in your Downloads folder, or wherever you saved it. Tap the APK file and press Install. Follow the prompts and allow all permissions when requested. If Google Play Protect appears, select Don't Send or go to More Details, then select Install anyway. For players updating the game, if you see App Not Installed or Package Conflict, or any other error messages with incompatible mentioned, try reinstalling or even re-downloading the APK a few times. If the issue keeps happening, this likely means that you installed an unofficial version before, or your device is not a pure 64-bit. If so, you'll need to uninstall the previous version first. Don't do this yet. I'll explain how to keep your saved data later in the Managing Save Progression section. Once installed, press Open to launch the game or press Done and find the app in your phone's app gallery. For BlueStacks, open the emulator and go to App Player at the bottom left. Click Install APK, then select the downloaded APK file. Let the installation finish. If you downloaded the APK directly inside BlueStacks, click on the notification after the download is complete and press Install. If you see, cannot install APK, try reinstalling or even re-downloading the APK a few times. If the issue keeps happening, this means that your BlueStacks instance is likely 32-bit. Follow BlueStacks' official guide to set up a 64-bit instance. If BlueStacks does not allow you to change instances, you may need a stronger PC to run Reflourished. For players updating the game, BlueStacks does not notify you whether the update was successful or not. If there's no error message, just proceed with the next step. Once installed, launch the app. Next, let's download the necessary game files. Downloading the game files is the same process for Android and BlueStacks. Open the app, it will ask to download the game files, which is about 1 GB. Choose Wi-Fi or mobile data. Once again, it doesn't need to be fast, but it must be stable. The download should start automatically with a notification. I will advise you to keep your device awake and watch the download until it finishes. The game might make frequent download sounds, but this will stop once it's done. On the other hand, if no notification appears, you may have disabled notifications, but that is fine. For old players, you might find these files in the OBB folder. This is normal. The download may sometimes go beyond 100%, this is normal. After downloading, the game may stay on a gray screen for a few moments before starting. Reflourished will start. Long loading times are normal, especially on first install or after an update. However, if the game is stuck on the loading screen for too long, turn off your internet before launching the game. Once inside, turn the internet back on. If turning the internet off doesn't work, check the next section. If turning the internet on makes the game crash, this is a complex issue with no fix yet. You can only play Reflourished without the internet. To check your current game version, go to the bottom right tool icon and check build version. If the game won't update properly, please make sure that you had downloaded the APK from the latest update link and actually installed the APK. You can also check your device type here. If you see RFL64, you're on a safe 64-bit version. If you see RFL32, your device may lose support in future updates. If your game works up until this point, great. But I still recommend checking out the Managing Save Progression section for some useful tips. If your game doesn't work, pay attention to the next section. Now, I know not everyone made it this far without issues, that's why I've prepared this troubleshooting section. If you're here, you're likely dealing with one of these issues, mostly crashes or an unresponsive APK. This mainly affects players from the Philippines, Italy, India, and Egypt, as your country actively blocks our download server. However, this can happen even if you're from another country. Try each step multiple times before moving to the next. If you're updating, do not delete the old APK, as this could erase your save file. Try reloading the app. Try reinstalling or re-downloading the APK, make sure the APK file is fully downloaded, make sure that you are using the latest version of the APK file. Try this alternative download link, it contains the same APK file but uses a different download server. If the alternative link still doesn't work, you will need to insert the game files manually, follow these steps carefully. First, go to any of the official download link. I will use the MediaFire link as an example. Download two required files, the OBB file and the OBB version file. The OBB file must be fully downloaded before moving to the next step. For BlueStacks, if you downloaded the files on Windows Chrome, you need to import them into BlueStacks using Media Manager. Follow BlueStacks Media Manager guide to transfer the files from Windows to BlueStacks. Next, you will need to prepare a file manager. The default file manager on your device is not recommended because it might block folder access. Instead, use any of these folders. Then, let's move the OBB file to the correct folder. I will use both zarchiver and Files by Mark as an example. Open your file manager and go to the Downloads folder. For BlueStacks, go to DCIM, then Shared folder. Ensure that the 1 GB OBB file is fully downloaded. Then, long press and copy both files. If your file manager only allows moving one file at a time, repeat the process for both files. Navigate to Internal Storage, Android, OBB, com.ea.game.pvz2_rfl, and paste the files here. If prompted, overwrite existing files to ensure the correct OBB version. If you get privacy errors that I had mentioned, switch to a different file manager. For Files by Mark, when copying or moving files, the OBB folder may disappear. This is normal. Paste the files into the Android folder first. Then, drag and drop them one folder at a time until you reach com.ea.game.pvz2_rfl. Check the OBB file size after transferring. Now this is an important step. Make sure the OBB file is named exactly as follows: main.675.com.ea.game.pvz2_rfl.obb. This is especially for players that are using Files by Mark. Be aware that it might rename the file automatically without warning. If you cannot rename it, check for a duplicate file with the same name and delete it. If you see extra files in the OBB folder, delete any extra files except for the 2 files that you inserted. With that out of the way, let's try to launch the game. Close all apps and open Reflourished. After downloading, the game may stay on a gray screen for a few moments before starting. Reflourished will start. Long loading times are normal, especially on first install or after an update. However, if the game is stuck on the loading screen for too long, turn off your internet before launching the game. Once inside, turn the internet back on. If turning the internet on makes the game crash, this is a complex issue with no fix yet. You can only play Reflourished without the internet. To check your current game version, go to the bottom right tool icon and check build version. If the game won't update properly, please make sure that you had downloaded the APK from the latest update link and actually installed the APK. You can also check your device type here. If you see RFL64, you're on a safe 64-bit version. If you see RFL32, your device may lose support in future updates. If your game finally works, great. But I still recommend checking out the Managing Save Progression section for some useful tips. If you faced any of the errors mentioned above, redo the entire process a few times. In particular, you need to check the OBB folder again. If the OBB file disappeared or has been replaced by OBB version, the game deleted it because you had made a mistake somewhere. Redo the process carefully. If you are sure you did not made any mistakes, but the game refuses to cooperate, leave a comment or join Discord and find me in the help desk. For players with a stubborn device but no PC or laptop, there's another advanced method to access your folders. Yes, it works, but I didn't include it in this video because it's long, complex, and prone to errors, especially for non-tech-savvy users. Only try this if nothing else works and you're confident in your technical skills. If your device blocks file managers, you can still install or update Reflourished using a PC or laptop and a USB cable by connecting your phone to PC. Use a USB cable and set your phone's USB configuration to file transfer instead of charging only. On your PC, select Open Device to view files or Open File Explorer. Navigate to Internal Shared Storage, Downloads and find the OBB file and OBB version file. Copy both files and paste them into internal storage, Android, OBB, com.ea.game.pvz2_rfl. Confirm the file size, as the OBB file should be around 1.1 GB. If prompted, choose Replace when overwriting files. If your PC doesn't detect your phone or throws an error, check USB settings and ensure file transfer is enabled. You could also copy the files to PC downloads first, then transfer them back to the OBB folder. The PC method is the most reliable way to manually insert the OBB file. If it doesn't work, retry a few times. It's the last possible method. If you're happy with starting fresh, enjoy the game. But if you want to keep your progress from the base game or use a head start save, you actually can. One of the unique features of Reflourished is that it supports your base game save. That means you can keep your coins, gems, plants, and costumes from the original PvZ2 while playing Reflourished. Alternatively, if you want to skip the vanilla content and jump straight into Reflourished's exclusive content, you can use the Head Start save. For old players, I will also cover how to make a backup of your save, and most importantly, transfer progress between devices. Now, let's go over how to apply save files to Reflourished. To alter your save, you need a file manager. The default file manager on your device is not recommended as it may block access to necessary folders. Instead, use any of these file managers. Before applying any save file, make sure Reflourished is fully installed and working. Open the game at least once until it asks for your username. Close the game completely before proceeding. If you choose the Head Start save, download the Head Start save from the same link where you downloaded the APK. If you choose the base game save and wants to transfer your original PvZ2 progress, open your file manager and locate your save at Android, Data, com.ea.game.pvz2_na or com.ea.game.pvz2_row, files, no backup. Find pp.dat. Long press and copy your pp.dat, then navigate to Main Storage, Android, Data. For files by mark, when copying or moving files, the data folder may disappear, this is normal. Paste the files into the Android folder first. Then, drag and drop them one folder at a time until you reach com.ea.game.pvz2_rfl. Check file size after transferring. com.ea.game.pvz2_rfl, files, no backup. If prompted, overwrite the existing pp.dat file. If you get privacy errors that I had mentioned, switch to a different file manager. Now this is an important step. Make sure the save is named exactly as follows, pp.dat. This is especially for players that are using files by mark. Be aware that it might rename the save automatically without warning. If you cannot rename it, check for a duplicate file with the same name and do this. Copy the duplicate file name. Delete the duplicated file. Rename your own save by pasting the copied name. If you simply want to transfer your progress, you will first need to back up your save. Navigate to Main Storage, Android, Data, com.ea.game.pvz2_rfl, Files, no backup. Copy these files, pp.dat, which is your save, and optionally Active Quests folder, which saves travelogue progress. Paste them to your Downloads folder, then save them to a safe location. Move the backup files to the new device or emulator. For progress transferring, if your file manager only allows moving one file at a time, repeat the process for both files. For BlueStacks, if you downloaded the save on Windows Chrome, you need to import it into BlueStacks using Media Manager. Follow BlueStacks Media Manager guide to transfer the save from Windows to BlueStacks. Open your file manager and locate the save in your Downloads folder. Launch Reflourished and check if your save is loaded. If your save is working, enjoy playing Reflourished. If your save is not loaded, redo the process a few times, and pay attention to the file directory as well as the important step mentioned earlier. If the game crashes after pressing play, try the following. Turn off the internet and launch the game again. If you are using a base game save, shovel all plants in the Zen garden, then re-import the save. If you are transferring progress, delete the Active Quests folder. If you are sure you did not make any mistakes, but the game refuses to cooperate, comment below or join Discord and find me in the help desk. One last thing to add, for players transferring progress, while you can transfer progress, you cannot sync progress. If you transfer progress from PC to phone, any new progress made on the phone will not update on the PC. This step is not required to play Reflourished. If you're a casual player, you don't need to worry about this, as everything happens automatically in the background. The CDN folder is a special advanced feature that allows Reflourished to add extra levels on top of existing ones, as well as receive new content without needing a full update. By default, CDN updates happen automatically. But if something goes wrong, it might cause issues in your game. If you see the LTE or the Piñata party has broken or outdated levels, or see missing texts in dialogue, travelogue or more, try connecting to a more stable internet connection and reopening the game. VPNs may help in some cases. However, if your loading screen finishes loading too quickly, or takes too long to load, or crashes after fully loading, you might need to update your CDN folder manually. If that happens, you need to go in Discord and find me in the help desk. Explain your issue to me and I will give you a CDN zip folder with the necessary fix. The CDN folder can be used to play custom levels or archived LTEs. If you want to play custom levels, or past LTEs and pennies challenges from the archive, follow these steps. Custom levels are stored as JSON or RTON files. You can download custom levels from sources like Level Archive or custom levels sharing in our Discord. Due to time limits, I will not cover how to create custom levels, but I'll assume you already have a working level file and a working file manager. Open your file manager and locate your level file. Long press and copy your level file. Navigate to Android, Data, com.ea.game.pvz2_RFL, files, no backup, cdn.1.3.1. Inside cdn.1.3.1, go to the levels folder. Paste your level file here. Rename the file using this format. You can insert as many levels as you want, following this specific naming system. You can place levels in other worlds by changing the world codename. For example, a custom level for Far Future Day 5 would be named like this. You can keep the level as long as you want, the replacement is temporary, deleting the JSON file will restore the original level. Sometimes, the game automatically downloads RTON level files into the levels folder. If you name your custom level the same as an RTON file, the game will prioritize the RTON file and ignore your custom level. Deleting the RTON file won't work because the game will re-download it automatically. Instead, choose a different level name. If Reflourished crashes when loading a custom level, it might not launch again, depends on how bad the crash was. Either way, the easiest fix is to just delete the level file from the levels folder. Here, I'll cover common issues players face. Feel free to skip to the section that best matches your issue. If you're outdated, an update banner appears in the main menu. For the latest updates, subscribe to PvZ2 Fan on YouTube. For faster update news, join the Reflourished Discord and stay tuned for new announcements. No, just install the new version over the old one. However, the APK file in your downloads folder is just an installer, deleting it is fine, but do not delete the actual Reflourished app. No, updating the game does not erase your progress, the save is stored separately from the game version. However, always back up your save to avoid losing progress due to unexpected issues. You may have not updated correctly. Revise the updating and troubleshooting section, or visit Helpdesk for more precise help. Some events, like limited timed events, are delivered through the internet, not game updates. Check the Managing Content Delivery Network section for more details. Unfortunately, Reflourished cannot recover lost save. Your next choice is to use the Head Start save. To prevent this, regularly back up your save. Never delete the Reflourished app while updating. Don't gamble your progress away. If your save is lost, it's gone for good and cannot be recovered. Taking a few minutes to back it up is a much safer option than risking everything. Try turning off the internet before launching. Try deleting the active quests folder from your file manager, main storage, Android, data, com.ea.game.pvz2_RFL, files, no backup. Your device may no longer be supported. I do have a temporary fix, but Travelog may still crash in the future. This issue should be fixed in the latest version. If it still happens on the most updated version, try turning off internet before launching. If you experience a crash and had already tried basic fixes like restarting the game or turning off the internet, try to note when and how often the crash happens. One-time crashes usually aren't a big issue, but if it keeps happening, report it in Helpdesk with details so we can help. The new Reflourished APK runs at 30 FPS by default. To switch to 60 FPS, go to Main Menu, bottom right tool icon, scroll down, enable target 60 FPS. Your device may not handle Reflourished well. Please disable target 60 FPS. If you are using an emulator, try adjusting RAM allocation in settings. To hide the black line, go to Main menu, bottom right tool icon, scroll down, enable center lawn camera. You can always disable center lawn camera, though the distorted lawn effect will correct itself over time. This is a texture issue that will eventually be fixed in future updates. They are epic quest plants, unlock them by completing epic quests in the travel log. 2 possible reasons. Not available in version 9.6 of the original PvZ2 game yet. It was removed for balance reasons. Epic quests unlock after certain progression points. For example, Torchwood's quest unlocks after Dark Ages Night 20. If you haven't reached these points, your travel log will be empty. Daily quests only appear if you have access to the required levels. If you haven't progressed far enough, events may not show up. For example, if quests require Steam Ages, Carnival Zombies, and Blooming Heart, but you're still in Pirate Seas, you won't see any quests that day. Complete any epic quest level to unlock it. Complete Flame on Step 1 in epic quests. Complete Frostbite Caves expansion levels to unlock the Hypothermic Hollows key in the shop. Boosted plants were reworked. Instead of First Strike, they now have special boosts like Sun Discount or faster recharge. To fix any of these, a manual save editing is required. Join the help desk for assistance. If you're still facing issues that weren't solved in this video, don't worry, help is available. Leave a comment down below, or join our Discord and ping me in the help desk for direct support. And that wraps up this comprehensive guide for installing, updating, managing your save and many more in Reflourished. If this guide helped you, consider subscribing. While I don't cover every update, I'll make a new guide if a major change makes this one outdated. Thanks for watching and enjoy playing Plants vs Zombies 2, Reflourished.